Hey everyone, Dr. Weird 28 here. In this week's video, I wanted to go over how a Timmy like myself could get Kappa. Now, for those of you who are newer to Tarkov, Kappa is one of the endpoints in the game that a lot of people look for. It allows you to, one, have this bigger secure container compared to the Gamma, which is a 3x3. You get a 3x4, which is really nice for just storing a lot of different items. Um, it also allows you to get an armband if you care. I haven't worn it yet, just mainly because it's more visible than anything. But you've completed, I think it's over 200 quests in the game to get to this point, in addition to getting to level 55 as of this point in the beta. So I had never gotten Kappa before myself, and this is I've been playing for about 2 years, a little more than 2 years now, and it's something I always wanted to do and something I kind of never thought I'd go for just because I thought certain tasks were a little too difficult. However, with time, I definitely built up confidence in getting some of them done. For example, this is the first wipe that I've gotten long line done, which is 30 kills in the mall, primarily because I don't like playing interchange that much in the past, and I thought 30 PMC kills in the mall would be incredibly difficult. Getting the goons done wasn't too bad. I mean that's one that I'd gotten done before, but yeah, needless to say, there are other tasks that hold a lot of people up. Tarkov Shooter 8, that was another one I'd never gotten done before this year. So to emphasize the Timmy aspect of it, I am not great at this game. I've gotten better over the years, but I have just about 1,500 raids in this wipe. I got Kappa about 4 months into the wipe. I think it's 2 months ago now, and I only have 435 PMC kills. Uh, that's not a lot for how many raids I have. Again, shows I don't PvP a ton. I do have a 59% survival rate, uh, and part of that is going through looking for specific items. If I get it, I extract, or if I complete a task, I'll just look to extract if it was a specific thing. But um, if you avoid PvP, typically your survival rate can be higher. Not to say that you should, and it depends on what your goal is, but my goal at a certain point in this wipe did become to get Kappa. I started off this wipe with the goal of I just want to see how much money I can make, at least 100 million. I changed my goal after I hit 100 million. They decided that capturing outposts was not going to be a Kappa required quest. I had no interest in ever doing capturing outposts, primarily because it involves sitting and waiting around in specific areas to try and get kills. And to me, that's just incredibly boring. Similarly, Shooterborn in Heaven was one that I hadn't really planned on doing, just because certain maps you typically have to be in certain areas to try and get it done. Um, I I got it naturally on Lighthouse, Shoreline, and uh, Woods, very easily, very quickly. Reserve, I did have to kind of work at a little bit. We'll go over some details of that. Customs, same sort of thing. There was some waiting around, and then streets. All three of my streets and one of my customs shooterborn kills, I did have a teammate help me cheese. I had them load into the same server, and I just lined up a shot and took it. But that was because that was all that was standing in my way, and I didn't want to sit around and wait, wait to try and get those shooterborn kills. Uh, anyway, so it's a very doable uh, thing for someone who's not even great at the game. So if it's a goal of yours, work towards it. Now, some of the pointers I'd like to go over. Number one, prioritize tasks that unlock future ones. So, for example, this wipe in particular, you had to get 25 scav kills on interchange in order to unlock the interchange quest line. And so that was something in the past that it wasn't a task blocking task. It was one that just kind of you could do whenever. In fact, you could double up with decontamination, where you got to kill 40 scavs on interchange wearing this mask. Um, a big part of that too is if you work towards some of those early tasks, and I think Pharmacist is one early on that it unlocks 6 tasks for you, which is huge when you're looking for XP to start leveling early up. Second reason why you want to look at ones that are more regional that might become a little easier. So for example, early on in Wipe, you have a lot of people running around on Factory naked with a pistol trying to get their pistol kills done. You could do that as well, but you get to a certain point where you have to get, I believe it's 6 kills in the office area of Factory in order to unlock the boss hunting tasks. And if people are running around with no armor and just a pistol, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to get it. So I always try and get after that one as soon as possible. Just because then as you're playing the game more naturally and a boss shows up, you get a kill, it's going to count towards it as it is. The third part of that is gathering items for tasks. So early on, I don't really care too much about like getting this quest or that quest done. If I can find things that are going to be for the future. So even if it's my first raid and I find 3 morphines, I'm ecstatic because I know there's a task that's coming up later that day or the next day where I've got to turn in 4 morphines found in raid. So to me, that's a win. Or if I find a couple bronze lions early on, I'm holding on to them because I need those for a task much later on that can be a little tricky to find. And then the fourth part about that is know the order of the task. And that's difficult because it does change a little bit wipe to wipe. Again, knowing which task unlocks other ones, you may push towards it as fast as possible. You may want to use help for certain difficult tasks. So for example, Shooterborn Heaven, like I said, I did cheese a couple of those Shooterborn kills, but some of the other ones, what I did was like on reserve, I'd pop a flare and wait for someone to try and come loot it. And when they loot it, I'd make sure to get the headshot. Another way to do it too is you could use teammates to fake a fight and have someone looking to third party it. Like if you know someone's in a specific area, and I'll get a video out on that next week, and using that fake fight as bait to have your teammates snipe the third party could be a way to work on getting Shooterborn done. And then another one, for example, stun grenades. That's a difficult one. I ran around for a while just with stun grenades as my grenade and threw them. Eventually, I just got the kill that way naturally. But it's difficult just because it isn't as responsive or exact as you would think. You'd have people who are blinded. You get the kill, and it doesn't count for the stunned kill. Don't really know why. Tremor kills, that's another one. Some people get naturally. What I do is as soon as I had a fracture on my arm, I didn't heal it. Started running Factory over and over again with impact nades. It counts as a headshot, and you'll get it done. Now, stay determined and look for ways to help with more difficult tasks. So I mentioned the impact nades. Use that for Grenadier, or I even got Killa this wipe one time using that, and that worked towards my KAPPA task line. Leg meta. It is an entirely effective route to take down someone who's super armored, so you don't have to worry about overpowering them. Now, leg meta was nerfed this wipe, but it still can be effective. It just takes a couple extra bullets depending on the ammo type. If you struggle with the PvP direct aspect, like myself, you can look for ways to try and combat that. So, for example, knowing player spawns and typical player rotations, you can position yourself almost for an ambush. Some would call it ratting, but if it helps you get the task done, then you can have success with it. Think of future quest lines as well when you're working towards KAPPA. So day one, and probably for the first like several weeks at least, I'm using primarily a bolt action in order to level my sniper skill, because you need to get it to level 8 or 9 for the KAPPA quest line, and 3 unlocks future bolt action quests. So like you want to get it there as fast as possible. You can keep working towards Tarkov Shooter 8. That can involve reloading regularly in raid as well. Vitality, ending each raid by having a teammate shoot your legs, or walking through barbed wire, things that are going to help level the vitality. Search. Search as much as you can in order to level your search skill. I believe you have to have it to level 10 for the scavenger quest. As soon as you are starting to play, I would start saving KAPPA items. Just because for some reason, the game knows that if you're missing one item, it's going to make it hard to find. And you don't want to be waiting around, running around looking for one specific item, and that's all you need for KAPPA. I personally prefer it to be, I have it, and I just need to get the levels. The last pointer I would give is make sure you take a look at your dailies and weeklies for getting additional XP that'll help level you faster. And then sometimes you get rewards that are actually KAPPA items or just really helpful items like better ammo, armor, weapons, whatever. So especially if it kind of coincides with something else that you're working on, it may be worth doing as much of those as you can, so that by the time KAPPA is coming around, it is not that difficult to get the last little bit of XP in order to cross the finish line. So if you're Timmy like myself, don't give up, work at it. I don't know that I'll ever go for KAPPA again, just because as of right now, I can't say that it interests me, but who knows? It is very doable, even for the less PvP types like myself. If you have any specific questions on Escape from Tarkov or how to work towards KAPPA, I'd be more than happy to answer. Just leave a comment. Until next time, keep it weird.